very complicated statistical analysis. I'll just give you a brief background of what we have done. As you are all aware that fitness is an in thing, especially in India, from where I come. At present, because of the changing lifestyles, I'm especially referring to the youth in India. Yeah, the lifestyle has become more sedentary. People are more into their cell phones and video games, and the traditional form of sport has come down to a very, very large extent. And along with that, coupled with that, when you have the fast food lifestyle coming in, there was a time in India when fast food was not so popular, having burgers and pizzas and pastas and cornflakes for breakfast. That was not that. We used to have a traditional sabji roti and everybody was happy and fitter. But as the sedentary lifestyle increased and all the, if I may say so, the Western food culture came in the fast food. So people here the fitness, though it was increasing, the midriff section also went on increasing. And so to balance this, what has happened? The gymnasiums are now very, very popular. Yeah, because there is no traditional sport. You don't see Indian youth going and playing soccer that much. Yeah, you don't see them going and playing cricket or maybe the kabaddi or swimming. So what remains is maybe an hour of a gymnasium. So now gymnasium industry is on a boom. Yeah. Now when you say boom, now because of this awareness of fitness plus the availability, demand supply both acting together, so people are getting more and more into this. But what I found, I'll come to that later, that there was no proper study. Suppose I am an entrepreneur, I want to start a gymnasium. It is just follow the crowd. Yeah, without an actual in-depth analysis that if I want to be an entrepreneur, if I want to start a gym, what is the criteria which I need to look at, because it is a high investment business, right? Now I was talking about the fitness industry. It is a $9 billion industry. Yeah, and in spite of the economic slowdown, it is growing at the rate of 27% per year. And by 2017, it is expected to touch almost 1.7 billion. So we are talking about big, huge money over here. Yeah, even the Indian franchisees, it is more than 24 billion US dollars. I am talking about the fitness industry, the franchise market, right? So now, and this is the latest India Retail Report is the most reliable report about the Indian market, and 2015 figures, these are the latest figures. Now, what I did was, I did a literature review, and I found that there was no actual research done as to, suppose I am an entrepreneur, I want to start a gymnasium. What is it I need to look at now? It was very much based on no statistical analysis. If you see my literature review which is there in the paper, there were hardly any research papers actually, there were more of articles which were not based on any statistical analysis at all, right? So what I did was, okay, let's talk about the objectives of the research first. The objective, as I said, was to understand what are the parameters for success if I am an entrepreneur. Yeah, and why I say parameters for success is because because of this booming industry, many people, including celebrities, started gyms. If you know a little bit about cricket, the Indian cricket team captain MS Dhoni, yeah, he started his own chain of gymnasium which shut down within 2 years, in spite of him being the brand ambassador for that gym. There is a famous Indian film celebrity John Abraham. Yeah, he also started a chain of gyms which just folded up in about a year. So whereas we are in a booming market and even people with big money and big names, they are starting gyms which are folding in a year. So what is it that if I am an entrepreneur, I need to go into this business, what is it I need to look at if I want my business to be successful? So what are the parameters for success for entrepreneurship in gymnasiums? Then secondly, what we did, if I were an entrepreneur who wants to start a gym, so we compared demographically. Suppose it's a female client or a male client. What is it a female looks at while joining a gym and what is it a male looks at? Yeah. Suppose I'm a student or I'm a working class fellow or a businessman. Is there something different with these two categories look at while joining a gym? So suppose I'm an entrepreneur, I have started a gym, I want to market my business. What is it I need to look at? So these parameters which we came across, we compared them demographically as to what is it different people look at while joining a gym, so that if I'm an entrepreneur, I should know that this is my target audience. I am supposed to say in an industrial locality where mostly working class people are going to come. So how do I need to pitch my gym? Or suppose I am in an area where there is a university, there is a college, there is a school. So most of my clientele are going to be young students. So do I need to pitch my gym in a different way? So that is the way we compared. So suggest areas of focus for percentage allocation of scarce resources. Everybody knows gymnasium means it is a capital intensive industry. You need to invest so much, and the gestation period is almost 3 years before you break even. Because heavy equipment, ambience, AC, everything is required. One treadmill nowadays, it costs in Indian rupees 20 lakh rupees. Yeah, so it's a capital intensive business you are looking at. So how do you allocate your resources? So I need to understand the aspects which we need to look at while marketing such a business. Alright. So research methodology, what we did first, I looked at the secondary data. Yeah. Then what we did, in order to understand the parameters, what we did was a pilot scale study was conducted. And in this pilot scale study, I interviewed only some entrepreneurs or people who have floated gyms, owners of gyms, or people who are managing gyms. And it was like a unstructured interview which was conducted, and we said we'll validate this later in our structured interviews. In our questionnaire, we asked them that what is it you all look at? So you are an owner of a gym, you are starting a gym, yeah, or you have started a gym. What is it that you looked at when you started the gym? So there were 6 criteria which came out to the fore. I'll come to that, yeah. And then when we took our questionnaires to the actual customers, to the actual users of gym, we tried to validate whether these 6 criteria which everybody is talking about, is it actually what the end customer looks at when he is going to use your gym, or is it something else they are looking at? And if they are looking at these factors, is it the same across the board demographically? So then we prepared the structured questionnaire, yeah. And the sample size was 600 respondents. Now this is a very large population we are talking about, because people who are using gyms in Mumbai is going to be a huge amount of people, whereas the sample size was 600 people, but still it stood the test of the Cronbach alpha. I'll come to that. So how we narrowed it down is, in India, the gymnasium industry is predominantly in the unorganized sectors. It is what we call in Mumbai as akhadas. One open space, somebody bought 5 barbells, few dumbbells, one treadmill here and there, it's a gym. Okay, so there you cannot statistically study it so much. So I only stuck to the organized sectors, gyms which have been properly registered, which have been properly marketed, and which have a name. You go and proper fill the form and register. So we stuck to the organized market, and from those organized market, random sample of 600 respondents, which was mixed. There were males, there were females, there were students, there were professionals, there were working class people. 600 students, of course the Cronbach alpha test showed that the sample size is reliable. So the alpha value was 0.833, which is more than 7. So the sample size is therefore satisfactory. Now what were the findings of the survey? As I said, the 6 criteria which we looked at, which the entrepreneurs who were interviewed, is what they told us, that when we start a gym, these are the things which we look at. So they said, first of all, we look at location. Now you understand, when I talk about the criteria, and later on when we go to validate it, how things were not as they seem. So they said location plays a very big part. Where the gym is located, it has to be close to a railway station, or close to a bus station, or accessible, or it has to be in a good locality. So they gave location quite a high rating. Yeah. Then they said, of course, the equipment quality and the overall ambience of the gym. Yeah. Then the third thing was the timings of the gym. Now timings, I'll little bit explain to you why I have put timings. In India, not all gyms are unisex timings. So they have this system, there are a few hours in a gymnasium where only women can come and work out. Yeah, and there are few hours, so mostly afternoon timings, say post lunch, 2 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock, only women can work out, males not allowed. And lately the trend started that the gym was unisex timing, so there is 2 different categories. Now some gyms believe in starting at 7 o'clock in the morning and packing up by 9 in the evening. But lately the trend has been the gym started before 5 o'clock in the morning, and they go on almost up till 12 midnight, and some are even later than that. So whether these timings make a difference, then the trainer qualities. So the very few trainers are certified trainers who have got a certificate from a recognized agency. Otherwise, any bodybuilder who has a good body, he comes and becomes a trainer in the gym. So whether you actually have a certified trainer who knows what he's talking about and who is actually going to give you scientific feedback and scientific training. So what about the trainer quality? And the additional facilities. Now many gyms, instead of being only a gym, they have either a sauna, steam, maybe a massage, maybe a consultant for your diet, all those things. So whether these additional facilities are important, and of course the schemes and discounts. Yeah, there are some gyms in a particular month, You can pay for 3 months and get a membership for a full year. This happens a lot in India, especially there are quite famous gym. There is this Mickey Mehta, who is a very famous person in gym. So on his birthday month, if you take the membership, yeah, you get the yearly membership for what you pay for 2 months. So these schemes, discounts, whether they make a difference or not. So these were the 6 findings which according to the entrepreneurs are important when starting a gym. Now the variables which we took into, and the brand name of course, whether you have to tie up with some popular brand name. In India the famous brands are Gold Gym, there is Talwalkar, there is Parulekar, there is Fitness One. So these are the famous brands. So whether the brand makes a difference or whether I am see, if I am an entrepreneur, I have got 2 ways. One is I start my own gym and I keep it whatever name I want, Fitness or Krishna Shetty Gym, whatever, yeah. Or I pay big money for a brand, take a franchise and start a gym. So whether the brand name is important. So these were the findings which I got from the unstructured interviews from the entrepreneurs. Thereafter, the variables was age. Yeah, there were 4 different age categories: the very young, below 20, then 20 to 30, 31 to 40, and 40 plus. Whether age makes a difference, male, female. Yeah, what is it females look at? What is it males look at? Education. Yeah, whether it is students, whether they are just graduates, postgraduate, professional, whether that makes a difference. Occupation, again, whether it's students, working class people, businessmen, and whether they are married or not married, whether that makes a difference. And reason for joining, whether you are joining because of an injury, just fitness, body sculpting, whether there is some illness due to which you have been advised to go to a gym. So whether these things, so these 2 things were compared. So if you are of a certain age, what is it that you look at? If you are a female or if you are a male, what is it that you look at when you join a gym? So that when I am an entrepreneur and I want to open a gym of my own, what is it I look at? Yeah, when investing in my scarce resources in the business. So the order of importance, as you will see, was not what the real. See, these are entrepreneurs who have invested lakhs of rupees in opening a gym of their own, and their judgment was found to be very, very different from what the reality is. Now, when I interviewed these entrepreneurs, they felt location was a very big thing. You will see location comes last. People don't care a hoot whether a gym is located close to a railway station or close to a bus station, whether it's in a good mall. In fact, people told us that if it is a good gym and I like what the gym is offering, I don't mind traveling 2 kilometers extra and going to the gym. I don't mind if it is in a very posh locality or it is in a very running mall or whether it is in a dead area. So the first thing they said, of course, it's a gymnasium, equipment, quality, the ambience is important. Second thing is discounts, the schemes, the marketing. What is it we are paying? What is it that they are offering us? Okay. What are the timings of the gym? Okay. Trainer quality, additional facilities, location, and lastly branding. So this was something totally opposite to what the entrepreneurs actually thought. This was in order of importance, simple mean. Okay. Now trainer quality, yeah. The female respondents gave maximum weightage to trainer quality. The female said that if you are going to a gym, we want the trainer to be good. Yeah, and professionals also said trainer quality is most important for us compared to the others. Housewives were third. Then rest students, etc. They said we will work out on our own, trainer quality not that important for us. Timings, older age groups said we prefer. We want the timings to be as suitable. Professionals, okay. Schemes and discounts, see, all this stands to logic. If you look at it logically, schemes and discounts, the student, the younger age group said we want discounts, we want to save money. Rest all is secondary, okay. And of course, students. The statistical analysis and the hardcore statistics are there in the paper. I just wanted to give a gist because 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I cannot go into the statistical, we cannot do justice to it, okay. So if you have any questions, you can look at the paper, you can mail me or you can ask me right now, I'll answer it. Recommendations are trainer quality, equipment, ambience, schemes and discount and timings are key factors as opposed to what people thought branding. Do not invest lakhs of dollars in a brand name. Don't go in for a franchisee. Don't go in for a very posh locality close to the bus station where you have to pay double the square feet area. Okay? Go for a dead mall. Go for an area which is not so happening. People will come there. If the gym is nice, people will come. So save your money. Okay? So these are the key things which you have to look at. And again, depending upon your clientele. If it is a student, so focus on discounts. If you are in an area where you are going to get more of ladies and housewives, focus on better trainers. As it goes without saying. Yeah, location, brand name, and additional facilities. What you use, sauna, steam, and all, people have their clubs for that. They don't want that. A gym for them is a gym. Okay, are relatively unimportant. So these are the important factors. These are the relatively unimportant factors. And when marketing gymnasium to various clientele, demographic factors have to be taken into consideration. Whom you are pitching the gym to. Suppose you have a receptionist who is pitching your business to a person. If a female comes, you have to show them. See, these are quality trainers. This is the certification. If students come, you straight away go and hit them with the discounts. This is what we offer you. No other gym is offering. If it's a professional, say if wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and open the gym, and you can come at 12 o'clock in the night. So that has to be taken into consideration. Okay. This is the bibliography. Thank you very much. You can ask me any questions if you have any.
Okay, do you have any questions about the gymnasium sector? Always.
Thank you. I think it was very intense presentation and very interesting one. And of course, it's very practically oriented, very good advice for the future owners of the gyms. But what would be the theoretical application of your study? What novelty did you bring to the theory development or entrepreneurship field or marketing field?
Okay, the novelty, if I were to call it that, was, as I said, a statistical analysis was not done. You can Google it and you can see whether there are any other papers of this side. Everybody was, it was just judgmental. Yeah, I am a gym entrepreneur. I have run so many gyms, so I feel location is important. There was no study done. In fact, this study can go a little higher, a little bigger sample size. Yeah, because 600 to me also is a modest size considering the population. So this can go a little, we can scale it up and see whether it still stands the test. But as I said, the novelty is the statistical validation of all these things were not done.
That's for the practitioners, and I mean for the theory, for us as academics, what can we learn from the studies?
The paper was meant as a tool to help entrepreneurs who are wanting to step into the field. So as academicians, this is what is it. I don't know what additional I can offer you.
I mean, there might be some interesting data in the people who set up a gymnasium.
Yes.
Under the old ideology that they were this.
Yes.
And your researcher said actually no, they don't care about that.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So if you contract closures versus
traditional approach versus a modern approach, something like that.
So maybe we can conclude that entrepreneurs who start their business actually do not assess the reality as it is, but they based on their aspiration of reality.
Perfect. And statistical analysis is important before actually you go into entrepreneurship, something of that sort. Yeah.
Thank you. I just have a quick question. Do you think your findings are unique for gymnasiums in India, or do you think?
No, I don't think so. As I said, when I saw the findings, I found them to be quite logical and not India specific. I found them to be quite logical. Now, see, we have just validated what we already have a gut feeling. Now, students are there. Now, I as a student, I am not going to look at the quality of a trainer or the ambience. I am interested in saving money. I have a limited pocket allowance, and if a gym is giving me discount and for 2 months worth I am getting a 1 year membership, I am happy. So, I feel that it is not India specific. I feel it is, it can be applied all over. Anything else?
Any more? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
energetic.